Hello everyone, this is Dalster and welcome back to another video, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about John Cena. As many of you know, John Cena's last match is this Saturday on the 13th of December, and I am not ready to say goodbye just yet. I wanted to say my thanks and goodbye to John and his wrestling career. Honestly, I never thought that it would happen, as some wrestlers don't always get a goodbye, and when they do, they sometimes do another one, or another one later on. It's been a long time since John made his debut in WWE and is now retiring this year. To me, John Cena was more than just a wrestler. He was an influence, as his gimmick, never give up, and hustle, loyalty, and respect really stuck out to me for a really long time. It was because of those words that I took it to heart. Well, I try to sometimes. I did, however, get my driving rights back after almost 10 years of going at it with the DMV, and I am close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I will be honest, I did give up most of the time, but kept going on. Even school was a big goal of mine back then, as I became the first female in my family to get a bachelor's degree after months and months of endless studies. It wasn't just wrestling, but the things he does for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and helping grant wishes to kids that suffer from diseases or other health issues. Some people often ignore it and just call John Cena out like certain people. Right back. David Otunga. In the end, John really gave us a lot of great memories. When I first started watching wrestling, a friend tried to get me into it, but I thought it was just a show for guys or boys. Then my brother started watching it more than my parents, and that's when I saw John Cena for the first time. At that time, he was in a rivalry with JBL for the WWE title. I was not able to watch WrestleMania 21 on pay-per-view when it first came out, but I eventually did. The storyline got me invested into WWE, and I kept on watching it for a very long time, until the PG era, but I did go back to watching WWE a couple years later. John had a lot of amazing rivalries and matches, such as Edge, Batista, Randy Orton, Umaga, Bray Wyatt, Triple H, and so many over the years. There were also a lot of funny moments, such as John making fun of Lita for having gonorrhea, the way he was trying to talk like Umaga, and Vicky being huge. The I Quit match John had with JBL was one of my favorite matches of his, and the bloodiest that I have seen so far. It was crazy, but I was glad that no one left WWE because I thought the I Quit matches were a way to leave WWE back then. Then days later, he got drafted to Raw, and the rivalry with Chris Jericho and Eric Bischoff had started. That was a crazy start when John Cena went to Raw. Soon after, there was the Edge rivalry that started at New Year's Revolution, and it still makes me a little mad that Edge had taken the title off of John. One iconic moment was when John lifted both Big Show and Edge for his signature move, FU, or in PG terms, Attitude Adjustment. Some people like to say that John could not wrestle. Even my parents said so themselves. But then I think of this moment and how strong John was. Then there was the Nexus segment, and it's a very controversial topic since a lot of people talk about how John Cena buried the Nexus, but I think that the Nexus weren't that great to begin with. You have people like Ryback, who complained for a living online, and David Otunga, who still holds a grudge after many years and talks crap on John. Personally, I never liked Nexus, but the good thing that came out of it was when John made fun of Heath Slater calling him the chick from Wendy's and Wade Barrett being a commentator for WWE. There weren't just funny moments, but the rap battles he had with Big Show, Kurt Angle, Brian Kendrick, and Kenzo Suzuki. Great times, even had those guys dress up too. One of John's theme songs, before My Time Is Now, was Basic Thugonomics, which is still a banger. And yeah, I think this is the only time that I will say it. Who could also forget the Battle of the Bands when John performed on Raw, only for Chris Jericho to not perform with his band, which I wished that he still did though. Also, remember how he joined the audience as he had no opponent for WrestleMania until he faced The Undertaker that same night? That was really funny, the audience part though. There were also the entrances he made, such as his return to the Royal Rumble in 2008 and won, which is still talked about to this day. One of my favorite WrestleMania entrances was when John or his driver drove his car into the WrestleMania 22 or 23 glass. That was so cool. Or remember how he won the Money in the Bank case by hitting the Big Show with it? Very funny. I think John didn't cash it in right soon after. Correct me if I am wrong. So many great memories and great matches. I can talk about it all day if I could. or look at the thumbnails on YouTube of his matches and instantly remember that moment. I never thought that he would face The Rock, but it was well worth the wait. It was a great 2-part match, and the whole passing the torch thing. One thing that I don't like about John is when he took the World Heavyweight title minutes after Rey Mysterio had just won it. Still a little mad about that as well. He is definitely one of the GOATs of WWE. Of course, generations had Hulk Hogan, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, and Ric Flair. But I am glad to have grown into the generation of ruthless aggression, aka the John Cena era. It's going to be hard to say goodbye, as there will never be another John Cena, but there will be a new generation of wrestlers. Just not at the charisma level as John, or getting good character development. Especially how TKO is running WWE nowadays. A lot of people have been complaining about it lately. You know, I never gave up on John, even when people were booing him during the PG era, even though his character was starting to bore those people too. He will always be a big influence on me, and because of his never give up stance, I continue to keep going at it in life, even through the difficult times. I personally did not like the farewell tour that much, as it could have been better. There were some great moments in the tour, such as him turning heel at Elimination Chamber, the AJ Styles match, and John winning the Intercontinental title, even though he has been in WWE for such a long time and never won it until this year for some reason. It could have definitely been better. Heck, John wanted to do over 200 days, but TKO, being the greedy company that they are, decided not to let it happen. Overall, I am glad to see John Cena giving his final goodbye, as not many wrestlers have that chance. Whether you hate John or not, he was the GOAT and was entertaining for many years. I will miss him so much, and I got lucky to see him at a live wrestling event in Anaheim in 2007 for the SummerSlam tour thing. He said he got his start in Anaheim, but my dad thought that John was exaggerating. It could be true, as John had also worked out in Venice, California during his early years. I wish that I could have seen his last match, but again, TKO is so overpriced and very greedy. Comment down below if you want me to do a rant video on TKO and Triple H. I sure have a lot to say about them, but not for this video because it's a John Cena goodbye video. John Cena was also my first wrestler crush, and I'll never forget how upset I was when me and my family went to go visit my godparents, as I wanted to stay home and watch John Cena's appearance on. Luckily, there was a rerun the next day. Although his music might be cringe, I loved some of it, especially the iconic My Time Is Now and Right Now. Definitely an unforgettable WWE wrestler and a GOAT with the ranks of Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock. Thank you, John Cena, for everything. For giving long-lasting memories, for your inspiring words, and your dedication to everything you put your heart into. We'll forever remember you and love you. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and if you want to share your John Cena memories, comment down below if you want to. Take care of your mental health and everyone around you, and I'll do the same too. Bye guys!